Hey ladies, welcome back to another episode of Mommy Chronicles. On today's episode, y'all, I have a letter for you. I have another strawberry letter, you guys. This one is crazy. Like, it's not crazy, but it's just like, girl, what are you thinking? I picked this letter because today is my 13th anniversary. It is 13 years of marriage for myself and my husband, Zalon. I am just so excited. I'm excited because this weekend we're going to do something we have not done in a very long time, which is just take a little getaway. Zion's going to be with her uncle, and we will be going out of town, and we got a nice little hotel room, and we're gonna go to a nice dinner, and my husband wants to see some movie, y'all. I can't remember the name of it, y'all, but he wants to see some movie, so we're gonna do that, and we just gonna hang out. We are going to vlog. I told you guys we were gonna vlog, and so you guys will see all of that probably Monday, because this video that I'm doing now will probably go up Saturday. Yeah, so I'm just excited about that. I'm also ready to go ahead and get this letter and read it to you guys. This morning I will be eating something real simple. I got some fruity Cheerios. This is my first time having these with some almond milk. I'm gonna eat that. I hope y'all don't mind crunching, because your girl's gonna crunch. I'm hungry and all of that. So y'all already know what the deal is. If this is your first time visiting our channel, welcome to the incredible fam. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell to be notified every single time we drop a video. And make sure that you tell somebody that we're doing big things right here on our channel. I'm going to go ahead and cut to this intro so we can get into this letter, and I can go ahead and start eating my breakfast. So, as my baby would say, check the intro. Alrighty guys, I am back and I'm ready to eat. So let me go ahead and pour my cereal so we can get into this letter. Did you guys check out our collab video this morning? We had so much fun and we got full. Y'all, we still got a big old bag full of seafood, like king crab legs, a whole lobster, shrimp, sausage, all kind of stuff. A big bag full, and then like a big bowl full of beloved sauce. So I'm gonna just pack that stuff up, and I'm gonna take it to my brother tomorrow or what have you. I wish y'all was here so y'all could have some. Nevertheless, let me go ahead on and say my grace so I can get into this food and get into this crazy letter here. Father, I thank you for this food I am about to receive, for the nourishment of my body, for Christ's sake. All right. Let me get a quick bite. Yeah. You gotta try this. This is fire. When I say fire, I mean fire. Like fire. Okay. This letter, I remembered the title page this time, y'all. This letter is entitled, "My husband left our family for another woman." And this is why I chose this letter, because of the fact that it's my anniversary, and this letter has to do with marriage. The letter says, "I have a problem, and I hope you can help me. 8 years ago, the father of my kids left me for another woman. They had 2 children together, and now she's pregnant again. But in 8 years since he left, we still talk on the phone as if we were best friends, and we have had sexual encounters as if we are still together. He gets mad if I try to move on. I don't want to hold on even though I'm still in love with him. Despite all the things that he has put me through, I'm still attached to our love. Girl, can you help me figure out what's going on here? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I should hate him for leading me on while he's still in a relationship with this other woman. But I can't have my happiness while remaining in this situation. You are absolutely right, Pumpkin Pie. You're absolutely right. You can't. Okay. First and foremost, let me address the first thing that stood out to me in this letter. The first thing that stood out to me was this. She said, 8 years ago, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, but 8 years ago, the father of her kids left her for another woman. Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to move on. It's been almost a decade, and you're still stuck to your past, and you're asking for help. That doesn't say that there's something wrong with him. That says there's something wrong with you. And granted, I get it. She has children by him. Okay. However, where I feel like a lot of women get messed up these days is they feel like that because they have a relationship, and this is not just women, a lot of people, period. Because I've seen men in this same situation. Just because you have children with people does not mean that you have to be tied to that person like that. The only conversation you should be having with that man, if he married to somebody else, is about your children. And that depends on how old your children are. If your kid's old enough to have their own cell phone, if your kid's old enough that they out here in these streets doing what they want to do, then they can communicate with their father on their own. The only things that you really need to be talking to him about is graduation, marriage, prom, things like that. Or if the kid is sick. Pumpkin, you're tied to him because you want to be tied to him. He ain't pulling those strings. He ain't making you do nothing. The next thing is, she's saying that they talk on the phone like they're best friends. Now, let me mix this up. Now, let me say this. I don't care if my husband has 76 kids with somebody else. Ma'am, y'all ain't finna sit on the phone. That's problem number one. His wife needs to get that in check. Because you sitting up talking about y'all sit up on the phone like y'all best friends. But see, here's the thing. You was offended. This is the double standard. You was offended when he left you for somebody else, but you gonna sit up on the phone with a married man and do the same thing to her that she did to you. And granted, payback is a mother, as people say. Yes. However, vengeance is the Lord's. And so if you want that woman to pay for what she did, then you need to let go of that situation and let God handle the situation. But as long as your hand is still in it and you steady trying to pay her back and you steady trying to show her where she wrong, then Pumpkin, God can't move on your behalf. Period. Point blank. She was wrong. The other woman, she was wrong for stepping into y'all marriage. She was dead wrong. However, you're just as wrong for stepping into hers. But I don't think, a lot of people don't see it that way. They see it as like, oh, he was my husband first. I don't care if he was your husband first. I don't care if he was your husband last. I don't care if he was your husband second. Pumpkin, if he's married, he ain't yours. Period. Period, Pooh. Okay. The next thing is, she says, he gets mad if I try to move on. Let me get about his therapy. Because I'm not gonna play with I'm not gonna play with this girl. He gets mad if I try to move on. You haven't tried to move on. It's been 8 years. It's evident that you are stuck in the same place, not wanting to move on. You don't want to move on. Number one, because a lot of women feel like that by a certain age, if I ain't married, I'm just not going to be married, which that's not the truth. My aunt was, I think, maybe about 60 something years old, and she got married, and they happy, and they been together for the past maybe about they got married before Ziyon was born, so could be knocking on maybe like 8, 9 years, something like that. So there's hope for everybody. He gets mad if I try to move on. You don't want to move on. You feel like this is all you deserve. You feel like this is all you can get. So that's all you want. However, the crazy thing about it is you're holding on to somebody that's holding on to somebody else. He ain't holding on to you, boo. You holding on to him. You're holding on to him for dear life. And the only reason why he gets mad if you try to move on, or if you try to do something different than what you're doing with him, is because you're taking away his eat it too from his cake. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like this. If I could be in a relationship with somebody I really, really wanted to be with, and then they make me mad, and I don't have to deal with the conflict, and I can just get up and go over to somebody else's house that's just gonna let me come in and do whatever I want to do, and then get back home and go back to where I really want to be, I would do it too. So I feel like, dummy, you traded spots with her. You went from being the wife, you went from being the respected one to being the side piece, and to being the bed buddy, for lack of a better term. Anyway, she says, can you help me figure out what's going on? Ray Charles can see what's going on. Ray Charles can see what's going on. What's going on is that you're allowing somebody to use you and then go back home to who they really want to be with. This man literally has 2 families, one of which he does not have to be held accountable to, because you can bet your bottom's dollar. You can bet your bottom's dollar. He's telling his wife, oh, I ain't messing around with her. This is strictly about my kids. But he's telling you, this my wife, and I'm not finna leave her, but I love you. Come on, bruh. We gotta be smarter than that. We gotta be smarter than that. She says, despite all that he has put me through, I'm still attached to our love. First and foremost, he ain't putting you through nothing. Sometimes we put ourselves through things with the expectations that we put on other people. Because we put our faith and we put our hope and we put our trust in other people, when at the end of the day, pumpkin, you can't trust in nobody that has already done you right. If he's done it before, he'll do it again, and he's doing it again. Every single time you pop your door open and allow him into your personal space, into your intimate space, and then you allow him to get up and go back home to his family, you putting yourself through. And no, I mean, you're not attached to your love. You're attached to your lust. That's a soul tie. And that's the reason why you cannot break free from what it is that you feel like you're tied to. You can't break free because you're tied to that man at the soul. And see, that's the thing. This is why it is imperative that we wait on God when it comes to marriage. Because if we don't wait on God, we will sit up and we will tie our souls to a whole bunch of different people. And I get it. Sex is the norm these days. That's just what people do. However, sex was created by God to be an institution between two people that are married in covenant under God. So, because you go and you tie yourself to all these different people, then what you are doing is you are marrying your soul to every single person that you allow into your space intimately like that. And so then if you don't go back and you don't break those ties between you and that person, then what you do is every single person that you jump into a relationship with after that, you carry that last person's spirit into that next relationship. And this is the problem. This is why this woman cannot break free. This is why this woman cannot find another relationship. This is why this woman cannot move on to something normal. It's because she have tied herself to dysfunction. And so now she does not know, like I said last time, now she does not know how to function without dysfunction. Y'all, I can't do it. I can't do it. I've never been that type of person, which, you know, everybody got their own struggles. So I'm not knocking a woman for having her struggle. What I'm knocking her for is being comfortable in her struggle. It's a difference in struggling with a thing and wanting to break free with it than being comfortable in the thing. And see, her comfortability came after she hit that 1 year mark doing this same thing. This ain't something she should have felt comfortable doing, because the first thing is that as mothers and fathers too, but more so as mothers, because we are the direct connect to our children. Like, we spend a lot of our time with our children. The first thing is that every single relationship that we have sets the tone, or we set the blueprint for how our children see that relationships are supposed to go. So if your sons and your daughters are watching you in this dysfunctional relationship with their daddy, but their daddy is married to somebody else, then this tells your daughter, it's okay for me to have a man that says that he loves me, but he with somebody else. This is how my man is supposed to treat me. And then your sons are looking at the same situation and saying, this is how I'm supposed to treat my woman. I'm supposed to be married to one woman, and then I'm supposed to have my girl on the side because I love both of them and I can't decide between which one I want to be with. Come on now. The next thing she says is, I should hate him for leading me on while he's still in a relationship with this other woman. First of all, babe, he ain't in no relationship. He's in a marriage, in a covenant. And you are, the Bible says that what God has put together, let no man put asunder. What asunder means? Asunder means separate, detach. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're putting their marriage asunder, and so is he. And so at the end of the day, while you may feel like this is all fine and dandy and you're all in love and happy and all of that good old stuff, babe, you got to answer to God. You do. You do. She said, I should hate him. But you shouldn't hate him, because he's just being a man. And honestly, he's just being a carnal person. People gonna do what you allow them to do to you. So you shouldn't hate him. You should hate you, because you don't love you enough to make the decision that you're important enough to be loved, and that person to love only you. That cereal was bomb. Okay. Which that leads me to my next point. I know, y'all look, I've said it before, y'all look, when it comes to the way that I sometimes word things, I'm a hard talker. This is why I told y'all before that I have young women that, you know, I minister to and that I pour into and stuff like that. And sometimes the thing, if you don't know me, you'll feel like that the words that I'm saying is just it's a little too harsh. So I get it. You know, the way that I'm saying what I'm saying. However, sometimes that's the best way, because some people don't get it until you say, hey, look, you need to get yourself together. You tripping, you need to do blah, 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 and get yourself together, sis. Something is wrong. Something ain't clicking right. But at the same token, what I do want to say is this. This young woman, and I'm sure that there are many other young women out here that need to hear this same thing. It is time for you to start seeing value in yourself. Men want a woman that they can take home to mama. And have you ever noticed that a man will go out and he will sleep with Sally, he will sleep with Kim, he will sleep with Sherry, but then he always got that one woman that he sees something different in her, and that's the woman that at the end of the day, when he get through playing all his little games with Sally and Kim and Sarah, he got that one woman that's who he takes home to his mama, and that's who he ends up settling down and saying, you know what, I gotta stop playing all these games, it's time for me to settle down. But that's because Sally, Kim, and Sarah then gave themselves to him in all kind of ways and allowed him to do all type of things. But that young woman, that one woman, held firm to the values that she had. And so the thing about it is you have to learn how to see value in yourself. You are God's princess. You are God's chosen. You don't have to settle for any less than what a king's kid should settle for. So this is why this young woman is going through the situation that she's going through. And at this point in time, she don't need no more advice. Because I'm telling you, as sure as I'm black, there's somebody in her life that has been telling her the same things that we just talked about today. You need to see value in yourself. You need to do this. You need to let go of that. It ain't him, it's you. You're not respecting yourself. Somebody has told her the same exact things. I know they have. There's no way she's been going through this same cycle for 8 years and nobody in her family, not her mama, not her sister, not her best friend, not her cousin, ain't nobody been telling her where she's wrong. So at this point, she don't need no more advice. She don't need to write no more strawberry letters. What she needs to do is she needs to go to God and allow God to show her who she really is. Sometimes we have to go to God and expose ourselves to him and say, God, I'm stuck in a place. I'm stuck in a place where I don't see the value that you put on my life. Help me to see who you made me to be, so that God can show her the beautiful princess that she is. Because she does not have to. You don't have to. I don't have to. We don't have to settle for less than what God has for us. We don't have to settle for less than God's best. There is somebody out here for each and every one of us. And when God created you, when God created me, when God created, oh girl, this girl right here. When God created us, he created us in mind for somebody perfect that fits us like a glove. That we are the piece to a major puzzle. And that man that God created for you is that piece that connects and makes the puzzle complete. And the thing about it is we steady try to graft ourselves into the lives of people that God never meant for us. And I'm not promoting the fact that the man was wrong. He was wrong. I'm not a firm believer in divorce, but hey, if that's what you feel like is best for you, then that's what's best for you, because sometimes it just don't work. However, What I feel like is that lady should have moved on with her life. After that man did what he did, she should have cut her losses. She should have moved on with her life, because you can bet your bottom dollar there is somebody out there that's looking at that woman like, man, she's such a good woman, and I wish I could just show her who I truly am. However, her mind is so far from somebody else coming along, and her mind is still stuck in the past. And that's the thing about it. I remember my uncle. My uncle had he had posed this question to, my uncle's a pastor, and he had posed this question. One second. He had posed this question to everybody in the Bible study class. And he said, what I want you guys to do is I want you to go home and I want you to look up what is the difference in being set free and made free. Set free and made free kind of sounds the same, but whatever. So I went home and I went and did some little studying to find out what set free and made free was. And at first I was just coming up with, just normal old scriptural reference stuff like that. However, I ran across this description, and it talked about how that being set free, this is amazing. Oh God, this is amazing. Y'all, I ain't preaching today, but this is good. So I ran across this description, and the description talked about that when we are set free, imagine being captive and somebody saying, all right, give me your arms, and they unlock the chains and say, go on and go. However, you are so used to being in that place of bondage and captivity that you don't know where to go. So you just stand there. Even though your hands are free, even though they said you're free to go, you stay right there. Nobody's holding you there, but you stay there. You've been set free, but you stay right there. Being made free, this is good, is when that person and that person that is holding you captive says, you know what, I'm gonna let you go. And they unlock your arms and they say, go on and go. And you look down at your arms and you say, wait a minute, these shackles are gone. And you say, I don't have any reason to stay here. And you get up and you walk out of that place of bondage. That's the difference. Being made free is the fact that you have gotten up out of the situation that you were once in, and you have made a change, and you have decided, I'm not going to be held captive anymore. There is nothing else holding me here other than me. Being set free is, I can get up, but I'm comfortable. I'm not being held captive. I'm sitting here because I want to, because this is my comfort zone. And if you don't know anything about comfort zones will keep you in a place of bondage. And so I feel like women, beautiful, precious queens, diamonds, God's chosen, God's princesses, I feel like that as all of those things that I just described us as, we have to get to a place to where we raise the standard of who we say we are. And we have to remember that we are precious, and that if a man cannot see you the way that God sees you, because the Bible tells the man to love his wife as Christ loves the church. And the way that Christ loves the church, we all know. He laid down his life. Even though in his mind he may have wanted to do something different. He may not have wanted to go through all of it. And I know he didn't want to go through all of the pain that he endured just for us. Well, that's the way that our men are supposed to love us. No matter what. Even though my flesh, I'm a man. Even though my flesh is saying, ooh, that girl over there look good. Ooh, she thick. Look at the way them jeans is fitting her. He should always be able to redirect his mind and say, but I have a queen at home that's worth me being faithful to. I shouldn't split myself in two to gratify my flesh and to stay with my woman. If somebody cannot give you their all, if you're not worthy of all of someone, then they're not worthy of any part of you. Period. Point blank. So, I know sometimes it gets a little difficult, especially when we are older women. Like, for instance, myself. And it's a completely different thing when somebody that's married is telling you guys all of this stuff. But I'm not telling you guys this stuff out of something that I read out of a book or anything like that, because I was not always married. And I've told you guys before, and you guys see my husband, he's an upstanding man. I've never, not once, had to worry about him being out here in these streets cheating on me. I don't have to sit up calling his phone all times of the night. I don't have to sit up wondering where he is and putting little apps on his phone so I can track where he at, because where he at is where he at, and I know where he is, and he knows where I am. I'm telling you all of that to tell you this as a testimony. I didn't always have that testimony. I went through my season of having to sit up and wonder where my man was. Look, y'all, let me tell y'all something. I'm going to give y'all my real testimony. I went through my season of sitting up in the same house with a man that was sitting up on the phone with another woman all times of the night. And I'm sitting in the back and I'm like, well, he here with me, and I'm just smoking my weed and chilling out while he's sitting up on the phone with another woman. She's sending him all type of gifts from all across town and all that type of stuff. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, he my man, and she live all the way in Seattle, Washington. And guess what? He got up and he moved to Seattle, Washington. And my thing is I could have took that as these niggas ain't no good and all of that type of stuff, but I gave my heart to the man that mattered the most, and that was God. And when I gave my heart to him, guess what he gave me? He gave me the heart of a man of God, and a man that would be faithful to me, a man that would love me beyond what words could explain, a man that would love my child the way that he is supposed to love her, and we don't have to worry about that. And this is not to say that we don't have our disagreements, that we don't have arguments, that we don't have times when we get fed up and tired of each other and stuff like that. That's normal stuff in marriage, and that's the thing. Everybody want to change marriages like they changing drawers, but disagreements don't always mean divorce. It's always a way to work through. I'm not telling you what's best for you. I'm telling you what's best for me. I'm telling you what works for me. The most important thing about it is this. When you and your husband take your eyes off of what is important, and that's God. When you take your eyes off of God, that's when everything else becomes so attractive. As long as you keep your focus on God, as long as you keep you and your husband's marriage centered around God, nothing else. I don't care who it is. I don't care how fine they is. I don't care how good they look. I don't care how their jeans fit or any of that type of stuff. I don't care what comes along. Nothing will be able to separate what God has put together, as long as you keep God as the focal point. That don't mean sometimes you ain't gonna tip to the side and maybe waver a little bit, but what that means is you'll be quicker to get back up on straight street and not fall into an 8-year rut, wishing and hoping and praying for stuff that don't even belong to you no more. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this segment of Mommy Chronicles, our strawberry letter from this girl here. And I hope you guys are able to receive the advice, the conversation. I want you guys to interact with me. If there's something you want to share with me, if there's something you feel that you want to share or anything like that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post my email address down here. What I want you guys to do, and this is if you want to, we can just keep on continuing to do this, and just discussing, you know, topics and stuff like that. However, if there is something you would like for me to discuss, and we'll keep everything anonymous. If there's something you would like for me to discuss, I'm going to post my email address right on down here. It is latrinascott.ls@icloud.com. It'll be right on down here. I'm going to post that down there. Send me some things that you may want to talk about, some things you may want to elaborate on, or something like that, and we can discuss that as well. If there is some, you know, some tips or some advice or anything that you want to share, some interaction that you guys want to share, make sure that you guys either comment down below or send me an email once again at latrinascott.ls@icloud.com. I enjoy this so much, you guys. It is such a great outlet for me. I'm sure that it's a great outlet for you guys. Like I said the last time, as women, sometimes we just need somebody to talk to. Sometimes we just need somebody to pour our feelings and our emotions out to, because like I said, we go through our day-to-day process with being protectors and caretakers and nurses and cooks and all type of stuff for our family, on top of the fact that many of us work outside of the home, on top of the fact that many of us are wives and stuff like that, and big sisters, cousins, and we share advice with people. So sometimes we just need to be poured back into. So if that is you, then meet me back here next week for another episode of Mommy Chronicles, and we will have y'all got another good strawberry letter next week for you guys. Most likely it will come on Tuesday. And then we just gonna talk and we gonna work it on out and be straight to each other. I absolutely love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Once again, if this is your first time visiting our channel, welcome to the Incredible Fam. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell to be notified every single time we drop a video, and make sure that you tell somebody that we are doing amazing things right here on our channel. Y'all, we got something for everybody. We got our mukbangs, we got our day in the life, we got Mommy Chronicles, we got stuff for the kids, we got stuff for the grown-ups. We just want to connect with all of you guys. We love you guys so very much. Peace.